going on, guys? In this video, we're finally getting the 67 F100 back on the road. There was a lot of steps to get to this point where we're actually able to drive it. So obviously when I purchased it, I had a bunch of stuff that I had to do in the last video. So in this video, to get it into the state where it was going to be a dependable daily driver, I had to replace the front glass. That was one thing that really needed to be done, because whenever I put the carpet in and I did the seat upholstery and everything like that, I went outside and I noticed that the carpet was like rock solid, and it literally had frozen from where it had rained so much, and there was a gap about that big in the windshield seal, and it was just leaking all the way in there, soaked the carpet, froze solid. I think the carpet is something that we can still save, but yeah, it took a toll on the new carpet. So for that one, it's pretty simple. It's just a roped in seal. I say it's simple. The idea is simple, but depending on what seal you get and what glass you have, it can be kind of a pain in the butt, and mine was definitely a pain in the butt. I also got rid of the dorky looking cab lights and put some new cab lights on there. Nothing crazy, no LEDs or anything like that, just some universal style cab lights. I think they look a lot better. I did do an LED conversion kit on the back tail lights. Those were pretty cool because they're from LMC Truck. I'll leave the link to all this stuff in the description. The plug-in works just like the bulb would. I mean, it literally just goes straight into the bulb socket, and then you have an LED panel. So it's not like you're putting just some cheapo LED light into the socket of a, you know, older style light socket. It's more of like a panel that's going in there, and it's just grabbing power from the light socket. So way brighter. And I just feel like that's gonna help a lot, you know, since you want people to be able to see you if you hit your brakes. I also did some little things like the windshield washer bag. I don't know if you guys have seen those old style ones, but if you have an F100, you've definitely seen it. But it's an old style reservoir for your windshield washer fluid, and it's a bag. I went and bought like a factory looking one. So just little things like that to try to get it like up to par. Speedometer cable, stuff like that. Nothing crazy. Now that kind of leads me to the next part, which is in the last video I said that I broke the gas pedal because I have ginormous feet, and the second that I touched the gas pedal, the rod, or pull the rod out of the firewall, and there's like a little bracket that goes there. You guys who have these trucks, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. It's really common that they break there. And I think that that's why that when people sell used stuff and you see it on eBay, I think that that particular setup was like a few $100s on eBay. But then again, you don't even know who you're getting the parts from. And when I bought this truck, I wanted to keep it as original as possible for the time being, because I just want to drive around an old cool truck, same engine, same everything for a while, and then change everything up. Kind of, you know, update things as I get a feel for like what the truck needs, and probably do, you know, an engine conversion and all that kind of stuff. So because I wanted to keep the original look for right now, I wanted to get a similar style gas pedal. Obviously there's aftermarket versions available, again, because I just wanted to keep it as original as I possibly could. So with that being said, they don't remake these pedal assemblies. So they make like the cover for them, and that's all I've seen. You can't get the actual pedal assembly. So with that being said, I reached out to a guy named Brian that I know who sells used F100 stuff, and it's all like original style stuff. He has trucks that he can, you know, pull these parts from. He is very, very transparent. So if you're, you know, you reach out to him and you say, like in my specific case, I said, hey, I need a gas pedal. And he's like, yeah, I should have some. So he sends me a picture of the exact gas pedal that he's gonna send me. And on this particular one, there was just like a little rip in the cover, the little rubber pad, which obviously that's okay because you can buy replacements for those. And I actually had a good rubber pad on the one that I pulled off of there. So that was great. I could just swap it out. So the fact that he's actually sending you the exact same item that you're gonna get, and I'm sure if I would have fired back with, hey, let me get a close up on that bracket that broke, he would have been more than happy to send that to me. So I know that I've had questions on here in the past in the comments on a good parts supplier for these trucks. I'm gonna leave his information below because that's definitely somebody you should get a hold of. I'm not being paid to say this or anything. I'm just literally trying to give you guys the best possible reference. And he has a ton of parts. So make sure that you know, if you need something, check with him before you just go and buy off of eBay. Company's called Slick Truck Parts. It's definitely something to look into. So again, I'll leave the website down in the description. There's an inventory on his website, but again, there's a lot of parts that aren't on the website. So that's why the best thing is just to reach out to him. I personally reached out to him on Facebook, and he gave me like really quick responses, and the shipping time was great. The product showed up exactly as he described it. So again, this is not any kind of like paid endorsement. This is just me genuinely trying to help you guys, because he is a very good supplier of parts. All right, now let's go look at where the truck sits currently, and let's go for a little test drive. All right, so basically the engine didn't really require a whole lot after the ignition system update and everything that I did. There's the new washer fluid system, new bag, and then there's the electric pump. It's smaller than the factory one. Actually, I think it has a little bit more power than the factory one did, so that's cool. Everything up here I'm just trying to keep as original looking as possible for right now. All right guys, so I got everything back together. The seat's in, carpet's in. I gotta kind of lay the carpet back down, but we'll do that before I take off for a little test drive. But new seals in, everything looks really good. New glass is in. When I test drove it the other day, it was leaking up here in the corner, like I said, and it was just like whistling like crazy. It was terrible. So we'll see if, now that I've done the windshield, if that will kind of get rid of that whistling problem. So haven't been out in it since I did the windshield, so it'll be interesting to see how much of a difference that changed since it was leaking so many places. All right guys, a true cold start. I got the choke pulled. You can see the temperature right there. So another thing that's been screwing up on this lever is like, there's definitely some kind of like neutral safety switch in here. But you have to kind of jiggle it sometimes or it won't crank over. So we'll see what it does. Oh, there we go. We'll pull the choke, or push the choke in a little bit. Oh yeah. So running perfectly fine. I'll get you a little shot outside so you can hear what the exhaust sounds like and everything now. So real fast, another thing I noticed last time that I was out driving this is every single time that you would take your foot off of the gas pedal, you would hear this weird like humming noise. So it definitely sounds like it's either, you know, the transmission or the rear end. Both of them have fluid, so it's nothing like that. But apparently when they bought the truck, it had like a low fluid in the rear end. They think maybe the rear end might have been like put together weird or something, and maybe had done something to the bearing. So, which it's leaking from the rear end right now. So it's possible that anything could happen. But yeah, we'll let this thing warm up though, and then hopefully you'll hear what I'm talking about. All right guys, so a couple things I noticed on that drive is the whistling was gone, which allowed me to hear some other stuff that was going on. So if I just like punch the gas, it responds really, really good. If I just kind of like very slowly ease into it, it's like it starts sputtering and stuff. So there's definitely some fine tuning stuff needing to be done. Something like that makes me think it's probably like a carburetor adjustment. But the fact that like when I slam on the gas, it responds really well makes me think it's not the accelerator pump, because if it was the accelerator pump on the carburetor, then it would just choke out and die. So I'm sure I'll get that figured out. The humming, I hope that I got that on the video. If I did, I'll leave a little clip of it somewhere in here. On that drive, I kind of like took it out of gear and just let it keep rolling. And when I took it out of gear, it was still doing it. So that kind of leads me away from the transmission, which is nice. So it's probably just something very simple with the rear end from whenever it was like taken apart and reassembled to address some of the leaks that were going on. So we'll get that fixed. There will be some more stuff coming very soon for the F100. It's just going to be like a continuous process. So the 56 Chevy is going to be getting a trunk pan here in the next few hours probably. So I'm going to get busy on that. But if you haven't already, I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe to the YouTube channel. It helps to grow the channel, build it, and, you know, kind of work on some of these cool projects like I've got going on right here. All right, guys, so other than that, thanks for watching the video. Let me know what you think of the trunk so far, because I feel like it's taken a pretty good step forward. So if you like it, let me know down in the comments. If you hate it, let me know down in the comments. I don't care either way. I'll catch you guys in the next video.